methinks he doth protest too much, right? If suburban women were really finding you so magically delicious, would you need to be asserting it so strongly? And in fact, I think that that in particular demonstrates his fear and his own acknowledgement of a weakness, and that he's calling out that cohort of people precisely because someone somewhere he must have caught wind of the fact that that is where he's slipping. I mean, that is one of the places where he's slipping.
You know, another place that he is slipping, it seems to be in a cognitive way. And you know, he gives these rambling speeches where he calls Biden Obama, where he just starts saying random words, and he's not really even doing sentences anymore. It's just like when I watch these events, I'm like, why isn't the media covering that? He's literally just saying a bunch of garbled words and sounds, and it's really, really strange, and it's playing out right before us like this. And here's, I guess, his way of trying to address it. And I will spare you based on what you said when I showed you that other clip, because throughout this speech that he gave in CPAC, I would say there was probably a good portion, the majority of the time, he was talking about not being cognitively impaired over and over again, and talking about how he's a rambler and he's the greatest rambler ever. And that was his main message at CPAC, not about issues. I'll give you just one example here, and I apologize. Play this
All right.
They'll say, you rambled. Nobody can ramble like this. No. If they did, they wouldn't even try. You know what? They go step by step, and they would never get off that sucker. They go step by step. But what happened?
What do you make of it?
Yeah, so I think what is so challenging for us, and my guess is for the people listening to us right now more broadly, is that the purpose of the authoritarian project
I wasn't in the right place at all. All right, about that. It's quite the everything. Let's see if there's a camera on here. Tick, tick, tick. Oh, over there. All right. So, I'm a Canadian, off to the side. And while I believe that everybody's political, you're either actively political or you're letting politics walk on you, because if you don't do anything, then you're allowing other people to do it for you. If you take no interest in how you're being governed, you're allowing a bunch of anybody's to govern you any way they like, because you don't care. I keep hearing people talk about it's us against the government. We are the government. If you don't like how it's being run, run. And I mean run for office. We need people who give a shit in there instead of people who just want to line their own pockets. The worst thing we've got going for us is that rich people don't give a fuck about us, which is why it's so fucking comical that people are going, Donald Trump gives a shit about me, when he's proven over and over and over and over and over and over he doesn't. He's never experienced our life, and he doesn't care about it. Rich people take care of rich people's lifestyles. That's what they know. If I tell them that I've been living on $26,000 a year for longer than I can remember, they look at me like I'm freaking insane. They don't understand why I drive a beater vehicle. and I wear clothes until they wear out. And I don't understand how you can make your life chasing money. My oldest brother, I remember my parents giving him money because he was one of the hippies. And they got really pissed off because when he ran into a young couple with a baby who needed it more, he gave it to them. I keep getting told by people that without money, nobody would do anything. Money's a concept. We made it up. Money and politics. Politics and money. Politics is about where we're going to take that money and spend it. I like to dumb it down. We're going to spend it on your kids, or we're going to spend it on my kids. But mostly what happens is it gets spent on their kids. Ask yourself, in a world, in a country where most of us are workers, why politics doesn't favor the workers. So much to say, but mainly it's please think. People keep talking about, oh my God, we don't trust media anymore. Media is a product. They're selling you something. So you can trust them as much as you can trust Coca-Cola or the baby formula maker from China that put in too much melamine. They're selling you something. By law, they have to take care of their stockholders, their shareholders, say it how you want. The people that own chunks of their company, the law is set up that they're more important than you. They're ripping protections out. At the same time, they're giving more power to corporations. Corporations benefit few. Oh, they tell you get into the stocks, you can nickel and dime. And so I like to try to explain to people, born into a monopoly game. Only it's not the beginning of the monopoly game. All the properties are already owned. And we've got 3% of the people who own that property, and the rest of us are fighting over Baltic Avenue. And we fight to the death, and we let them sit and use us for entertainment. Doesn't have to be this way. Lots of people lots of people volunteer and spend their life passionately working for things for other reasons than money, which once again is a concept. I believe that if we have mandatory voting, and hey, don't forget, mandatory voting, you can always run a politician to get rid of it. But let's have mandatory voting for now. And if we're going to have a minimum wage because people aren't good enough to make sure that we pay people enough to live, then let's also pass a law that says we have a maximum income. That way we can afford our schools and our hospitals, children's programs and our seniors' homes. And I understand we'll have less billionaires, but in my heart, yay, please, yay. Now, that's my little political yiver, which actually probably going to do once in a while. But right now, while I got dinner in the oven, coffee by my side, the camera on, I vote we do a little bit of Fortnite. I'll give you. That, by the way, is why I've had so much trouble in the world, is because I'm a downright socialist. I'd be a communist, except people aren't good enough. But I believe we're good enough to be socialist. And what that really means is I give a shit about your children, not just my children. And hey, been persecuted for that all my life. But still, socialist. I'd say proudly, but it's got nothing to do with pride. I don't know how not to care about all of our children. I don't know how not to care about all of us. I don't know how not to be pissed off at somebody who benefits themselves over the rest of us. Which is why, if I could pray, and I could honestly pray, and believe that something listened and would care about me, I pray for Donald Trump to die. And hey, Maybe that's what the Supreme Court down there is doing. Maybe that what they're doing is going, hey, we'll let immunity stand. That way Biden can get rid of Trump. I don't know what they're doing, but I will say this from a Canadian side perspective, doesn't matter which side of that red, blue crap that you're on down there. It's really about green, whether you have money or you don't. And Trump takes care of the people that do. That's it. But the Supreme Court, no matter which side of that's on, as far as I can tell, they just took a piss all over the American people. They sure the fuck aren't honoring your guys' democracy. Joe Biden should have thrown a couple more judges in there to balance out the evil shit that got put in there by McConnell and Trump. And for the rest of history, we're going to have to go, you know, if it wasn't for Manchin, what Senina or whatever that silly broad's name was, sorry, that woman, she's not silly and she's not a broad, that horrible woman who quit being a Democrat and showed her true colors by switching to independent. If it wasn't for those two, Biden could have put through a lot more of his program. The American working class would have been doing way better off. And it's a small world. When American working class are doing better off, it gives the rest of the world some hope. When we see the rich people shitting all over the people down there again, it hurts all of us. It hurts the morale of all of us. The tiny little lifeboat we live on that we call Earth. And man, the people that don't want to share, I think we should throw out the lifeboat. Elon Musk likes to send up sports cars. Take away those seats. Once again, give a shit about all you, but I can't help but be pissed off when some just want to take so much that so many have none. Love y'all. I'm going to go play Fortnite. Hey, born in 1960. There were 3.3 billion people there. And now we're over 8 billion. Within my lifetime, we'll probably hit 9. And if that doesn't scare you, you're not thinking. I'm not getting sound. There you go, Xbox audio doing it. Nope, no sound at all. Well, that does makes me wonder how much audio got through. It looks like I'm getting my voice in. Yeah, well, video is obviously coming in. the audio. At the same time, it's just not working.